For the second video that I did on mute, a thread by Carlos Osuita. Nancy Pelosi illustrates the sheer incompetence of the Democrats' attempt to stop the landslide re-election of Donald Trump. From Breitbart.com, Pelosi on New York Times Trump tax report raises national security question. 1. Nobody believes the New York Times. 2. Nobody cares about this story. 3. It'll be gone by next week at the latest. 4. Compared to the endless rioting, it's absolutely nothing. And 5. The Democrats have way overstated the case for not re-electing Trump. Every accusation made against Trump is childish. He's a Russian asset who heads up the most corrupt administration in American history and plans to become a fascist dictator who puts all non-white, non-heterosexuals in concentration camps. Does it matter that there's zero evidence for any of that? What happened to Mary the Tank Engine's book? Mary Trump. Too much, never enough, stupid book. Wasn't there another sexual assault accuser recently? Nobody cares, because we all know that everything they throw at Trump is a lie. And now another round of rioting over a Supreme Court appointment. The election comes down to civilization on one side and barbarianism on the other. There's no Trump cult, but there's a climate change cult, an intersectionalism cult, a mask cult. Here in California, people social distance in their cars. My guess is that leftists will never give up their masks. The most conformist Southeast Asian countries wore masks for decades as a matter of course. I saw it in Japan. What a disastrous culture. But the working class? We're all outliers, just like here. Normal, friendly, open-minded, relaxed. And there were plenty of upper-class outliers. You can't stamp down the human spirit. Japanese outliers were the funniest people I ever met. A businessman approached me in a ferry cafeteria at the beginning of a 17-hour trip back to Tokyo. He asked if he could sit with me, and then he asked if I spoke Japanese. I was fluent at the time. Good, he said. I speak fluent English, but you play by our rules here, pal. He proceeded to crack me up for the next 17 hours. He pretended to be conformist in order to advance. It didn't matter to him because he had a family of outliers. He was a patriot, but he tore apart Japanese culture. I was totally relaxed with him. When a group of Canadian boors tried to join us, he pretended to not understand them. Get rid of these fuckers, he said. They're giving me a headache. So we went to the bar. He wasn't a drinker. The only Japanese male I met who didn't drink. I sent my pictures of him to Vegas. You could see the sarcasm and the individualism. His wife, son, and daughter had the same expressions in the photo he showed me. He was a good husband and a good father. Trump has created a massive group of outliers. We're united by the shared values of law and order, personal safety, an orderly society, freedom, employment, personal responsibility, functional government, humor, no overseas military adventures, and improvement. The rest of it is our own business. In the last month before the election, a preference cascade will result in a historic landslide. And the undecideds will break for Trump. They're waiting for Biden to give them a reason to vote for him. Enough said about that. The Democratic frenzy will get worse, but as long as you stay out of their way and let them destroy themselves, everything will be Jake. The press has been a honking car horn for 5 straight years. Why are you still paying attention? Did you expect the car horn to suddenly start speaking English? Is that what you're waiting for? Go ahead and wait if you want. I don't bother. To me, a car horn is just annoying.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.